Wow. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 18th year of the Toto Awards. My name is Sharanya, and I'm your host for the event. And I'm an artist. Well, I used to be an artist. I'm going to be an artist. Once this whole thing blows over, or maybe not. Well, the important thing is that I am double vaccinated. That's right, not one, but two. And my body temperature is 97.8 degrees, which qualifies me to be in this beautiful, exciting place called outside my house. So here we are at the Bangalore International Center, 48,000 square feet of public space, which is currently occupied by just me. Look at it. Dappled sunlight, flowers, bird song, construction noise. Nature is healing. The Toto Awards began with the one award for music in 2005. There are now 8 awards for artists under 30. 1 for music, 3 for creative writing, 2 for photography, and 2 for short film. All winners will receive a cash prize of rupees 50,000 and a handcrafted trophy, except for the winner of the music award, who will receive a cash prize of 60,000 rupees. Sorry, one sec. Hello? Yes? You want to shift to the music category? No, you can't do that. You're in creative writing. You can't shift. No. Listen, please, stop singing. He sings well. No, okay. You can apply next year. Yeah. Oh, you're 30. All the best. All the best. Okay? Bye. The Toto Awards 2022 received a total of 770 entries across 5 categories, and 18 of those entries have been shortlisted. So whether you were on the short list or the long list, whether you win here tonight or not, I want to ask you to take this moment to see yourself the way I see you. You're young, you're fiercely talented, you're making art, and lots of people like you on Instagram. And that, believe me, is the reward. The Toto Awards was established in the memory of Angiras Toto Vellani, who was very passionate about the arts. These are difficult times for everyone, and especially so for the arts. And we would like to acknowledge the generous support that we have received. Your contributions have made not just the TFA Awards, but also several other TFA programs like seminars, talks, and workshops possible. This year, TFA received donations from N. Kalyan Raman, C.K. Meena, Madhura Krishnaswamy, Prasanna Chandrasekharan, Umaira Bibi, Mohammad Rehan, Sucheta, Rashmi, Madhvi, and Deepthi, in memory of their late father, Shantinath Desai, Anmol, and Sarita Vellani. The Photography Awards are supported by the Art and Photography Foundation, the Short Film Award by the O2 Financials, the Kannada Creative Writing Awards by Bhumija Trust, the English Creative Writing Award by the Mani Rao Foundation and Nabonita Majumdar, in memory of Dipali and Nitai Majumdar. The Music Award is supported by Badri Vishal. We thank you for your generosity. Here I am at the library, where we will begin the Toto 2022 showcase, starting with the Toto Award for Creative Writing in English. We received 275 entries, and 4 writers have been shortlisted for the 2 awards. The jury for the awards were Aditi Machado, a Mumbai-based writer and critic who incidentally won this very Toto in 2009. She now teaches at the University of Cincinnati. Sanjay Sipai Malani, an award-winning poet, writer, and translator. Nimpham Singh Nongkindri, who teaches at NEH University in Shillong. So we will begin with Priyanka Sutaria from Nagpur, who has submitted poems on self and romance in the 21st century. Here she is.
21st century romance. 1. Ever since you rebooted your phone and got locked out of your Instagram, I have taken the liberty of venting my most private heartbreaks in the abandoned inbox of your erstwhile account. 2. You have become a part of the furniture of my life. I cannot decide whether I prefer you as lampshade or bookshelf of forgotten purchases or table upon which I might stack my size. 3. When the world ends in soft increments of light, I hope that the wreckage will drift in through the windows, dance around our bodies like butterfly harbingers of obsolescence, festooning in the gentle perseverance of our love.
The Constitution of India. General knowledge. The second on the shortlist is Uday Kanungo from Bhubaneswar. His short story, The World Without Us, dwells on unexpected death, imminent birth, and memories of a shared past. Here he is with an excerpt from his story.
Deaths in our family had a habit of coming suddenly, in neat strokes of raw chance. For this reason, the absences that followed these events went forever unredeemed by any sense of fate or destiny, or indeed by sense itself. Our father, who is more secure and alive in my sister's memories than in mine, was caught in a stampede at a train station on the outskirts of the city. The kind of death your eyes alight upon by chance while smoothing the crumpled corner of a newspaper page. I remember our mother better, frail, sober woman whose appearance into rooms was announced by the silver sounds of her anklets, who sighed heavily after sitting down, and on whose face I never remember seeing any sign of anger or disgust. The last years of her life were eclipsed by the shadow cast by our father's death, when my sister and I were much younger. She died 4 years after him in a freak landslide on a rain swept road when she was on her annual pilgrimage to the four holy shrines that dotted our religion. In the consolations and condolences that followed after, relatives said that the Supreme Being who watched over us had loved her so dearly that she had been taken away, that there was nothing more noble than dying in a pious pursuit, that she was now with our Father. My sister and I knew very little about the world and ourselves at the time, but we had instinctively sensed that there was something shameful in giving death the dignity of design.
Alone Together, self-help. Next up, we have Aswin Vijayan from Kozhikode. His poems are shot through with the notion of home, losing it, abandoning it, and sensing that the search for it may never end. He reads now from his poem, Changing Places.
Changing places. Standing at the top of the flight of stairs, I peered through the keyhole. I called the boy thrice in 15 minutes. No answer, and I had no key. I lugged my luggage back down the stairs and waited for a cab with nowhere to go. Lockout is a ritual I practice in every city I have lived in. Keyhole after keyhole, staring back. Homelessness was a first time feeling. This city gifted me so many firsts. Half drunk New Year's night on the banks of Hussain Sagar, roadside Maggie after midnight, wet cement raining on me, a blue blazer, computer codes, triple strides on the wet tarmac, and eventually a room for myself in an apartment with a balcony where I stood sipping tea and watched others on their balconies.
Finally, we have Solomon Maria Donald from Bengaluru. He sent in 3 short stories brimming with fantastical creatures and otherworldly experiences, which he probably wrote when he was in Bangalore traffic. Here he is, reading an excerpt from his story, Jimmy is Ours.
The fishermen from both the villages were returning home with their catch. They rose from the sea like the gods of the ocean. Rugged and muscular bodies bathed in the salty waters of the Arabian Sea and sand. The catch was massive, and some men were even hurt with deep cuts and bruises. What might seem like a medical emergency to a regular person was normal life for this bunch. They quietly walked towards the crowd that had gathered around this alien creature. The creature wore a metallic collar, and a long cable ran from it into the sea. Michael, the most inquisitive fisherman in the village, was the first to notice this and moved closer to the dead creature. He dabbled around trying to pull it out with all his strength, but when he tried to twist the cable, it came off the collar smoothly. Everybody stood around and watched in wonder while he walked around the animal and examined it. He noticed it was missing a tooth and had a fresh wound in its place, like it was pulled out just before it died. Just then, 2 police jeeps arrived, followed by an ambassador and an ambulance. The police cleared the crowd and shoved Michael away. The inspector switched on the megaphone that gave out a loud static before he started. Makkale, this is a rare creature from the sea. It is dangerous and can harm you and your children. We have scientists with us today. They will take this with them. If anybody has removed any part of this animal, please return it to us. It is important we understand every bit of its anatomy.
So there you have it, the 4 writers on the shortlist. Who will win? Well, to know who the winners are, you'll have to wait till all of the shortlists have been presented. So now we turn to the Toto Awards for short film. 116 entries were received and 4 directors have been shortlisted for the 2 awards. The jury for the awards were Dr. Nikhila H., Professor and Head, Department of Film Studies, the English and Foreign Languages University, Hyderabad; Tanul Thakur, award-winning film critic and journalist from Delhi; and filmmaker Surabhi Sharma, who is currently teaching in the Film and New Media program at New York University, Abu Dhabi. Now we will show you excerpts from the shortlisted films. The first clip is from the film Enso, directed by Megha Shetty. She hails from Havanje, Udupi. Megha describes the film as being primarily about loss, coping with trauma, and healing. Here she is.
ನೀ ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ಆಫೀಸಂಗಿದ್ಯಾ ಹುಷಾರಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲ
ಹಾಂ
The second film, Mint Gumri, is by Akash Chabra from Panipat, Haryana. The film portrays the fleeting and inexpressible connection that is forged between the protagonist and his ailing grandfather. Watch this excerpt.
ਰਾਗ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਬਿਠਾ ਦੇ ਬੇਟਾ ਲੇਟਿਆ ਲੇਟਿਆ ਪਿੱਠ ਥੱਕ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ
ਬੈਠਾ ਬਾਊ ਜੀ
ਉਹ ਨਾ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਿਠਾ ਦੇ मैं सराहने लियानी है।
We now turn to the film Daura, directed by Shubham Ghatke from Baramati, Maharashtra. Daura is a pungent satire on how ordinary citizens become victims of political ambition and fakery. Here's a clip from the film.
घरकुल बी मंजूर झालं आणि रामभाऊ सरपंच झाल्यापासून एक गाय बी द्यायचा वादा केला. एक गाईचा गॅस, सरपंचाचा गोठा. अगं बाई,
सरपंचांमुळं आम्हाला घरकुल मंजूर झाले.
गावातलं रस्ते एक नंबर झालं. आणखीन
24 तास गावात लाईट आली.
दुष्काळात पण आमच्या जनावरांना चारा भेटला.
गावात वायफाय आला.
माझ्या पोरीचं लग्न जमलं.
सरपंचामुळं गावचा विकास झाला.
The final film is much shorter than the others, but has the longest title, Mahalle School, Family Going Live, directed by Akshay Ingle from Akola, Maharashtra. It's also the only documentary film on the shortlist. With enduring humor and sympathy, the film captures how the pandemic has disrupted learning for school-going children. Here's a clip.
सुंदर चांदण्या चंद्र हा सुंदर चांदणे सुंदर पडे त्याचे सुंदर. ओके, रीडिंग करो. कुठे गेली? हा. अ आ ई उ ऊ रू ए ए आई ओ अम आहा. नीचेवाला पढ़ो, नीचेवाला. क ख ग घ ड च छ ज झ ट ठ ड ढ न. ओके, एक्टिविटी दिखाओ बेटा. स्टॉप. थोड़ा सा दूर करो. वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड जानवी. थैंक यू टीचर.
So even from just seeing those short clips, you'd have noticed how different each film is from the other. I don't envy the task of the jury, who's to decide the winner, but you'll find out who won soon enough. So here we are, back in the library for the Kannada Creative Writing Awards. In 2011, TFA introduced one more award for creative writing for plays, poems, and fiction in Kannada. This year, 64 writers sent in entries, and 3 writers have been shortlisted, 2 in short fiction and 1 in poetry. The jury for the award were H. Nagaveni, novelist and short fiction writer with the Kannada University in Hampi, and poet Chintamani Kodlikere. You will now see and hear the writers reading from their work. Krishna Devangmat from Belgaum district will start with a reading of his poem, Svargada Tapalu Kacheri, titled in English as The Post Office of Heaven.
ಪದ್ಯ ಸ್ವರ್ಗದ ಟಪಾಲು ಕಚೇರಿ. ಸ್ವರ್ಗ ಅನ್ನುವುದೊಂದಿದೆಯಾ? ಇರುವುದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲೋ ಇಲ್ಲದುದ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಲೋ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳುವುದು? ಮತ್ತು ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳಲು ನಾನು ಯಾರು? ಹೌದು, ಸ್ವರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಟಪಾಲು ಕಚೇರಿ ಇದೆ. ಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಹುಳುವಿನಂತ ದೇವರುಗಳು ಸಂಚರಿಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಹವಾಲುಗಳನ್ನು ಅವರು ನಮೂದಿಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನೂ ಬಿಡದೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ನೇರ ಜೆರಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರತಿಯಂತೆ ಮುದ್ದಾದ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿತ್ರಿಸುವರು. ಟಾಮಿನಾಯಿಯ ಮೂಳೆಯ ಕುರಿತು, ಹಲ್ಲಿಯ ಲೊಚ್ಚಗುಟ್ಟು ಆಸೆಯನ್ನು, ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ತೀರಾ ವಾಮಕಾಮದ ಬಯಕೆಗಳನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ. ಉಸಿರಿಗುಸಿರು ಸೇರಿಸುವ ಕಲಾಪರಿಣಿತನೊಬ್ಬ ಈ ಟಪಾಲುಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ವರ್ಗದ ಅಂಚೆ ಕಚೇರಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸುವನು. ರಾತ್ರಿಯ ನಡು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನದ ಹೊತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಇವ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಖಾಸಗಿ ಪತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಓದಿ ಸ್ವತಃ ವಿಮರ್ಶಿಸಿ ತಿದ್ದುತ್ತಾನೆ, ಪಾಪಗಳ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ತಗ್ಗಿಸಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಖಾತೆಗೆ ಜಮಾ ಪಾವತಿಸಲು. ದೇವಾಲಯದ ಮಹಾದೇವರೆದುರು ಮಂಡಿಯೂರಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸುವ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಮುಗ್ಧತೆ ದೇವರಿಗೆ ಮೆಚ್ಚುಗೆಯಾಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಸಹಾಯಕ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಬೇಡದೆ ಬೀದಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಡುವ ಕುರುಡರು, ಮೌನದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತನಾಡಿ ಸಮಾಧಾನಿಸುವ ಮೂಕರು, ತಮಗೇ ತಿಳಿಯದಂತೆ ಸಹಾಯ ತೋರುವ ಹೃದಯವಂತರು ನರಕದ ಯಮನಿಗೂ ಪ್ರಿಯವಾಗುತ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇವದೂತರು ಟಪಾಲುಗಳನ್ನು ಓದಿ ಅಳಿಸಿ ಹಾಕುತ್ತಾರೆ. ನಂತರ ದೇವರು ಅವನ್ನು ಹರಿದು ಬಿಸಾಡುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Rattihalli Ragavankura from Haveri district writes stories that offer intricate details of lives in rural India. The excerpt he will read is taken from the story Kalakondavaru, which is titled Mendicants in English.
ನಿಂಗಪ್ಪ ಮುಖ ತೊಳೆಯುತ್ತಲೇ ಗಂಟಲೊಳಗಿನ ಕಫ ಕ್ಯಾಕರಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಉಗಿದು ಬಾಯೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ನೀರು ಹಾಕಿಕೊಂಡು ಗುಳುಗುಳು ಶಬ್ದ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಾಯಿ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ. ಹಜಾರದ ಟಿವಿ ದೈವನಾಮ ಸ್ತುತಿಗೀತೆಗಳಿಂದ ತನ್ನ ಪಾಡಿಗೆ ತಾನು ಗೊಣಗಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಲಿತ್ತು. ಟಿವಿ ಎದುರಿಗೆ ಕುರ್ಚಿ ಹಾಕಿ ರಿಮೋಟ್ ಹಿಡಿದು ಚಾನಲ್ ಬದಲಿಸಲು ಯತ್ನಿಸಿದ. ಅದು ಮಿಸುಗಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬದಲಿಗೆ ಸೆಡ್ಡು ಹೊಡೆದು ಹಲ್ಲು ಕಿಸಿದಂತೆ ಕಂಡಿತು. ರಿಮೋಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ವೀಕ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ತೊಡೆಗೆರಡು ಸಲ ಬಡಿದುಕೊಂಡು ಒತ್ತಿದ. ಈಗ ಚಾನಲ್ಗಳು 80ರಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡತೊಡಗಿದವು. ಗಪ್ಪನೆ ಹಿಡಿದು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸುವಂತೆ ರಿಮೋಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಕಿತ್ತು, ತಗ ಇವನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಿಸಿಗಿಡು ಎಂದು ಒಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಚಹಾ ಕಾಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಅಂಬವಳ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಕೈ ಮಾಡಿದ. ತುಸು ಮುನಿಸಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಆಕೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದೆರಡು ಸೆಲ್ ತರಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ನಿನ್ನ 2 ದಿನದ ತಂಬಾಕಿನ ಖರ್ಚಿನಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾವ, ಏಸ್ ದಿನ ಅಂತ ಬಿಸಿ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಹಿಂಗ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಟಿವಿ ಶಟಗಂಡು ಹೋಗತ್ತೆ ನೋಡು ಅಂತ ತನ್ನ ಅಣ್ಣ ಕೊಡಿಸಿದ ಟಿವಿಯ ಕಾಳಜಿಗೆ ಮುಂದಾಗುತ್ತಲೇ ಚಹಾ ಸೋಸಿ ಗಂಡನೆದರು ಲೋಟ ಹಿಡಿದಳು. ಪುಟ್ಟ ಬಟ್ಟೆಯಿಂದ ತನ್ನನ್ನು ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಹಾಕಿದ ನಂತರ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮನೆಯವರ ಸಹಕಾರ ಹಾಗೂ ತನ್ನ ಶ್ರಮ ಶೂನ್ಯದಿಂದ ಆರಂಭವಾದುದನ್ನು ನೆನೆದು ಆತ ಸುಮ್ಮನಾಗುತ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಲೋಟ ಎತ್ತಿಕೊಂಡು ಟಿವಿಯ ಬುಡಕ್ಕೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೈಯಾಡಿಸುತ್ತಾ ದಿನ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಹೇಳುವ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಬದಲಿಸಿದ. ಹೆಂಡತಿಯು ಹಾಗೆ ಚಹಾ ಇರುತ್ತಾ ಟಿವಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಕೂತು ಕಣ್ಣರಳಿಸಿದಳು. ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಟಿವಿ ಜೋಯಿಸಪ್ಪ ದಿನಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಸಲಹೆ ಕೊಡುವಂತೆ ಆವತ್ತೂ ಏನೇನೋ ಹೇಳಿದ. ಒಂದೇ ದಿನ ಭವಿಷ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ತುಷ್ಟಿಗುಣ ಸಿಗಲಾರದೆಂಬಂತೆ ನಿಂಗಪ್ಪ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷಿಗಳು ಹೇಳುವ ತರೇವಾರಿ ಹುಚ್ಚಾಟಗಳನ್ನು ತಲೆಗೆ ತುಂಬಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ತನ್ನ ರಾಶಿಗೆ ಏಳರಾಟ ಶನಿ ಹಿಡಿದಾನ ಅಂತ ದಿನೇ ದಿನೇ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಈ ಶನಿಯ ಕಾಟದ ಶಾಂತಿಗಾಗಿ ಹನುಮಪ್ಪನ ಪಾದ ಹಿಡಿಯುವುದಾಗಿಯೂ ಎಳ್ಳೆಣ್ಣೆಯನ್ನು ಮೈ ಹಾಗೂ ತಲೆಗೆ ಬಳಸುವುದಾಗಿಯೂ ಸಲಹೆ ಕಂಡುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ. ಹೀಗೆ ತನ್ನದೊಂದೇ ದಿನ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಕೇಳಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಸುಮ್ಮನಾಗುವುದರ ಬದಲು ಮನೆ ಮಂದಿದೆಲ್ಲ ರಾಶಿ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಕೇಳಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಹೆಂಡತಿಗೆ ರಾಹು ಶಾಂತಿ, ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಗುರು ಶಾಂತಿ ಎಂಬೆಲ್ಲ ಶಾಂತಿಗಳು ಮುಂದೆ ಸೇರಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದವು. ಹಿರಿಮಗ ಕಳ್ಳನಿದ್ದೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಕೇಳಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಮೊದಲು ನಿನ್ನ ರಾಶಿಗೆ ಶಾಂತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅಂದ್ರ ನಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಮುಂದೆ ಸರಿ ಆಕೈತಿ ಅಂತ ಅಪ್ಪನ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಸರಿಪಡಿಸುವಂತೆ ಮೈ ಕೊಡವಿಕೊಂಡು ಏಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ 7:15 ಬಡಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಗ ಪೇಪರ್ ಹಾಕಲೆಂದು ಒಯ್ದ ಸೈಕಲಿನ ಹಾದಿ ಕಾಯುವ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಬಡಿವಾರಗಳು. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 2ರಿಂದ 3 ಬಾರಿ ಚಹಾದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ 3 ನಮೂನಿಯ ದಿನ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಕೇಳಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಸೈಕಲ್ ಹತ್ತಿ ಹೊಲ ಸೇರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆಯ ಸಗಣಿ ಬಾಚಿ ಹಾಲು ಕರೆದು ಡೈರಿಗೆ ಹಾಲು ಹಾಕುವುದು ಪ್ರತಿದಿನದ ಕೆಲಸವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಹೀಗೆ ವಾರವಿಡೀ ಡೈರಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದ ಹಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಯ ವಾರದ ಸಂತಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ದಿನಸಿ ಖರೀದಿಯ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವಿಚಾರ ನಡೆದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಉಳಿದಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಖರ್ಚುಗಳು, ಬಾಕಿ, ಉದ್ರಿ, ಸಾಲ ಎಂಬ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹೆಸರುಗಳಿಂದ ಸೊರಗುತ್ತಿದ್ದವು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Dada Peer Jaiman's stories capture a vast world of diverse experiences. He lives in Bengaluru. He will read an excerpt from his story, Yellow, Yellow, or Middle of Nowhere in English.
ಬಿಡು ಸಿಕ್ತಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಗಂಡ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. 10-9 ಬಾರಿ ಕರೆ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇವರು ಕಣ್ಣೀರಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಒಮ್ಮೊಮ್ಮೆ ಬೆಳ್ಳಂಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಊದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರೋ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿಯೊಬ್ರು ಈಶ್ವರ್ಗೆ ಅಳುಮುಂಜಿ ಶ್ರುತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಅವರು ನನಗಿಂತ ಸುಮಾರು 15 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ದೊಡ್ಡವರಾದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಪಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. 24ರ ನಾನು ಬಾಯಿ ತಪ್ಪಿ ಅವರ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ನೋವುಂಟು ಮಾಡೋದೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಎಂಬ ಭಯ ಆವರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಕೊನೆಗೂ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಿಮ್ ಗಂಡ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೆಟ್ಟವರಾ ಎಂದು ಕೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡ ನನಗೆ ಹೊಡೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವರು ಸಾರ್ ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಿ ಕಣ್ಣೀರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ತರಗತಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರು. ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಆ ಉತ್ತರ ವಿನಾಕಾರಣ ಒಳಗಿನಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಾಡಿಸಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. ಈ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹುಡುಗನ ಹತ್ರವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅನ್ಸಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಊರಿನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ನನ್ನ ದೊಡ್ಡಮ್ಮನ ಹಾಗೆ ಗಂಡನನ್ನ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಡಲು ಮನಸ್ಸಾಗಿರದೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಎಂದು ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ಮುಜುಗರದಿಂದ ನಾನೇ 2 ದಿನ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಂದು ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಸರ್ ಎಂದಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿ ನನ್ನ ತಲೆಗೂದಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆರಳಾಡಿಸಿ ಮುಗುಳ್ನಕ್ಕೂ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದರು. ಬಿಡುವಿನ ವೇಳೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಫ್ಟೇರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಳಿತಿರುವಾಗ, ನೋಡಲು ಲಕ್ಷಣವಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಮುಖದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಳೆ ಇದೆ, ನೀವೇಕೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿಸಿ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂದು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಗೌರವ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಗನ್ನುತ್ತಿ. ನನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮನಿಗೆ ನಾನೊಂದು ಮೂಟೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದೆ, ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಸಾಕಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಕಪ್ಪು ಬಣ್ಣ, ದಪ್ಪಗಿದ್ದೆ, ಚೂರು ಹಲ್ಲು ಉಬ್ಬಗಿದ್ದವು. ನನಗೆ ಹಲವರ ಮೇಲೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿತ್ತು, ಆದರೆ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಯಾರೂ ಪ್ರೀತಿಸಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ನಮ್ಮಂಥವರಿಗೆ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜೇ ಗತಿ ಅಂತ ಮೊದಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ವಿಫಲ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೈ ಹಾಕಲಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂದು ಬಿಸಿ ಬಿಸಿ ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತಾ ತಣ್ಣಗೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕಾದರೂ ಕೇಳಿ ಕೆದಕಿ ಬೇಸರ ಪಡಿಸಿದೇನೋ ಎನಿಸಿತು. ಮೊದಲ 8 ಗಂಡುಗಳು ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋದ್ವು. 9ನೇದು ಓಕೆ ಅಂತ ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಅವರೇ ಕರ್ಣನ ಅಪ್ಪ. ಅವರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ಕೂಡ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಮೋನಿಯಾ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವರು ನೋಡೋಕೆ ಸುಮಾರಾಗಿದ್ರು, ಆದರೆ ಗಂಡಿಗೇನೋ ಹೇಗಿದ್ರು ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನುವ ಮಾತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ. ಆತ ಒಪ್ಪಿದ್ದೇ ಭುವನದ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಎಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು. ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊರತೆ ಅನಿಸಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಓದ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೊರಟಿದ್ದೆ. MSc, MPhil, B.Ed ರಾಶಿ ಓದಿದ್ದೆ. ಪ್ರಯೋಜನಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನಷ್ಟನೇ ಆಯಿತು. ಗಂಡಿಗಿಂತ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಓದಿರಬೇಕು ಎಂಬ ಅಲಿಖಿತ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೂರು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. ವರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆಯು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬರುತ್ತದೆಂದು ಲೆಕ್ಕಾಚಾರವೂ ಇದ್ದಿರಬಹುದು ಎಂದು ಹೇಳುತ್ತಲೇ ಹೋಗುತ್ತಿದ್ದವರನ್ನ ತಡೆದು, ವರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಂದು ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ಅವರದಕ್ಕೆ ನಕ್ಕು ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಊನ ತೋರಿಸಿ ದಂಡಿ ವರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆ ಪಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರು. ಅಪ್ಪ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ತನ್ನ ಕರ್ಮ, ಇದೊಂದು ಮೂಟೆ ಸಾಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಂಗಿತ್ತು. ಹಿಂದೆ ಅಣ್ಣ ಇದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಪಸ್ಸು ಬರುತ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇದ್ರೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಹೇಳುತ್ತಲೇ ಹೋದರು. ಆ ಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವುಗಳು ಶಾಲೆಯ ಪಠ್ಯಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಓದುವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಡುವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಆಚರಣೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಅಜಗಜಾಂತರ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸವಿದೆ ಎಂದು ಅರಿವಿಗೆ ಬಂತು. ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳ ಆದರ್ಶ ಲೋಕ ಬಡವನೊಬ್ಬ ಬರಿಗಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತು ಆಕಾಶದ ವಿಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಟಾಟಾ ಮಾಡಿದಂತೆನಿಸಿತು.
There you go. The Kannada writing shortlist is done. The winner, his name will be revealed shortly.
We're rolling.
Yeah, one sec. Oh, so bad.
We're rolling.
Take another later. So now we move to the Toto Award for photography. So the award received 96 entries and the jury selected 4 for the shortlist. The jury for the Toto for photography were Lena Vincent, an independent art historian and curator, Hina Kapadia, founder and director of Tark, a contemporary art gallery in Mumbai, and Sumitra Ghosh, award-winning Bangalore-based architect. So first up, we have a series by Rishbanu Barua titled Jesus in Suburbia, which documents Sunday Mass in Jisu Krista Mukti Data Mission, a small church with a headquarters in Guwahati. The next series is called Intimacy of Distance. The photographer is Farheen Fatima from Chandigarh. She says that her series attempts to document the transformation of love in the absence of the lover. It deals with the physical and emotional distance that the pandemic has created between lovers. Now you will see a series by Vijay Sarathi from Chennai. Titled Oceanic Feeling, the series tries to capture the feeling of oneness between the inner states and the external world. Finally, we have Prakash Bhuyan from Guwahati with his series titled Across. The series portrays a small group of people in Mugiapur in Bangladesh, separated from the larger Garo community by a fence marking the international border between India and Bangladesh. The photographer describes the series as reflecting on ideas of belonging, family, identity, and memory, which are shaped by the consequences of making of nation states. Thought-provoking images, right? But which two did the jury decide on? The wait to know the winners just got shorter because now we're moving to the final category, music. The Toto for Music is the oldest award established in 2005. And this year, the award attracted 219 entries and 3 musicians have been shortlisted. The jury for the Toto for Music comprised of Uday Benegal, lead singer, songwriter, and one of the founders of the band Indus Creed. Anirudh Voletti, a senior artist and tour manager who's worked with prolific artists like Pratik Kuhad and Karsh Kale. Shilpa Anand, whose work combines R&B, soul, jazz, and electronic elements with music styles from South India. Subarna Roy, a music professional with vast experience in the Indian music industry, currently working with Mood Agent. So the first entry, we will introduce you to Kevin Shaji, aka Pina Colada Blues, an indie composer and electronic producer from Kerala. As the name suggests, the music draws on a cocktail of genres from electropop, hip-hop, and Eastern-infused Western styles. So here, listen to a track called Thenali. Next, we have Ranj, which is the soul pop project of Ranjini Ramadas from Bengaluru. Ranjini describes herself as a singer, songwriter, and rapper who plays a little saxophone. So here's a snippet from one of her tracks, Come Through.
We'll grow and it might get blurry, but it's cool. We got the music. Come through when you're blue and you've been hurting. These rooms are always open for you. Know you deserve it. Here's the light, and I'll take your light, pass it the right, yeah, yeah. We get the high as the sky, yeah, yeah.
And now to round it off, we have Niranjan Joshi, a pianist and educator from Mumbai with a keen sense of appreciation for jazz and contemporary music. He's constantly working towards bringing out different sounds and melodies originating from different geographies. So listen to a passage from one of his tracks, You Being You. Now, we turn to the moment that you've all been waiting for. The winners of the 2022 Toto Awards for creative writing, film, photography, and music. We'll start with my favorite first, creative writing in Kannada. The winner of the Toto for creative writing in Kannada 2022 has published poems in leading Kannada magazines. He's interested in photography, cinema, and theatre. He's also worked as an assistant director in the film industry. And his name is... Congratulations, Krishna Devangmat. The jury said fresh similes breathe life into your poems. Your imagery is ingenious and startling.
ವರ್ಗ ಅನ್ನುವುದೊಂದಿದೆಯಾ? ಇರುವುದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲೋ, ಇಲ್ಲದುದ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಲೋ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳುವುದು?
ಮತ್ತು ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳಲು ನಾನು ಯಾರು? ಹೌದು, ಸ್ವರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಟಪಾಲು ಕಚೇರಿ ಇದೆ.
Now for the winners of the 2 short film awards. The first winner of the Toto for Short Film 2022 is studying at the Film and Television Institute of India, Pune. He wants to start a film industry which provides a platform for budding talent in rural Maharashtra. In fact, he trained villagers to act in Daura, the film for which he wins this award. And his name is... Congratulations, Shubham Ghatke. The jury described Daura as a biting political satire, a compelling swirl of irreverent humor, political commentary, and rural despair. Marked by evocative cinematography, sharp performances, and a playful background score, the film arrives at a pertinent and tragic conclusion: the scapegoating of citizens in the temple of democracy.
एक गाईचा गॅस, सरपंचाचा गोठा. अगं बाई.
The second winner of the Toto for Short Film 2022 has varied interests. As a graphic designer living in Bengaluru, she has done illustrations for Kannada magazines. She has also worked with Kannada theatre groups. She writes, "When something haunts me, I paint, then write. And when nothing calms me down, I make a film." She wins the Toto for her film, Enso. And her name is... Congratulations, Megha Shetty. Enso, the jury said, is about grief and guilt at the loss of a family member, but is also equally about reconciliation and voiding of the mind from burden. It's about the struggle to cope, but it's also about the struggle to hide one's inability to cope. Megha Shetty's acting is effortless, and her directorial hold on the film's narrative is equally impeccable.
ನೀ ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ? ಆಫೀಸ್ ಹಂಗಿದ್ಯಾ? ಹುಷಾರಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲ?
Our next stop is creative writing in English, which has 2 winners. Coincidentally, both the winners today have been longlisted for the same award in the previous years. The first winner of the Toto for Creative Writing in English 2022 is an assistant professor at the Zamorins Guruvayurappan College, Calicut, and has an MA in poetry from the Seamus Heaney Centre, Queen's University, Belfast. And his name is... Congratulations, Aswin Vijayan. The jury described your poems in these words. There is a true bonding of thought and feeling in every one of these poems, which are full of startling images. They evoke nostalgia and genuine pathos in the plight of the luckless. Here is something that both sways the heart and makes you think.
I peered through the keyhole. I called the boy thrice in 15 minutes. No answer, and I had no key. I lugged my luggage back down the stairs and waited for a cab with nowhere to go.
The second winner of the Toto for Creative Writing in English works as a writing tutor at Ashoka University and writes fiction in English while translating prose and poetry from Odia to English. And he is... Well done, Uday Kanungo. The jury called your story The World Without Us, a poetic and moving narrative. The reflections on personal lives are no less than philosophical reflections on life itself.
Deaths in our family had a habit of coming suddenly, in neat strokes of raw chants. For this reason, the absences that followed these events went forever unredeemed by any sense of fate or destiny, or indeed by sense itself.
We now come to the Photography Awards. The first winner of the Toto for Photography 2022 engages in narratives themed around the female form and her relationship with nature. In essence, her work is the visualization of her thoughts, depicting how she sees the world. She wins for her series, Intimacy of Distance, and her name is... Congratulations, Farheen Fatima. This is what the jury had to say about your work. Simple yet strong and experimental with beautiful layering, the way in which the idea is conveyed is commendable as it creates a sensitive, emotional connection with the viewer and expresses great technical skill. The second winner of the Toto for Photography 2022 is also a poet. He works as a freelance photographer for various news and media outlets. His personal projects involve long-term documentary work. He wins for his series, Across. He is... Congratulations, Prakash Bhuyan. The jury said of your work, the imagery is very striking, and he has engaged with his subjects with a gentleness that flows with the spirit of the people, condition, and place. And now for the final award, music. The winner of the Toto for Music 2022 writes in English and Tamil. Having played only with bands till last year, she says, I finally gathered the courage to put myself into music in a way I hadn't done before, rapping, singing, and writing in my own style. And she is... Congratulations, Ranj, or Ranjani Ramadas. The jury members were swept off their feet by your music and innate musicality. A clear winner, they said. Excellent on all fronts: composition, production, arrangement, and performance. Most importantly, she stood out purely in terms of naturally pushing and redefining boundaries without trying too hard.
We'll groove and it might get blurry, but it's cool. We got the music. Come through when you're blue and you've been hurting.
Congratulations again to all the winners. You will receive your checks, trophies, certificates, and citations very soon. The TFA Awards would have no meaning if it didn't create interest and enthusiasm among artists in their 20s. So a big thank you to all you creative people who applied for the 2022 Toto Awards. And for the artists who came close but didn't win, remember, your talent has been recognized, and there's always next year and the next year and the year after that. Several artists have been short or longlisted before coming through as winners. We hope you had a lovely Toto 2022. I almost forgot. Next year, we're going to be adding a new Toto Award in a completely new category, but you'll have to go on Facebook or Instagram to find out which one that is. That's all from me for now. I'll see you again in 2023, hopefully offline.